Now, in a short time, we can expect President Trump to be acquitted of impeachment following a very public campaign to oust him by the Democrats. However, it was his bitter feud with political rival Nancy Pelosi in the headlines today, following last night's State of the Union address. It all began with what appeared to be a snub of the top Democrat by the president after he ignored her offer of a handshake. And then, following an 80-minute speech, the Speaker of the House tore up her copy of the president's address. It comes as the impeachment trial in the Senate, pushed by Mrs. Pelosi, is likely to come to an end shortly, with the president expected to be acquitted. Right, look, we need some balance here. I'm going to bring in Bernard Whitman, the former Democrat strategist. Hi, Bernard, thanks for joining us. Now, these pictures of Nancy Pelosi tearing up the speech, that's what we're talking about. Now, these pictures have gone around the world. Most people will think this was pretty petty stuff on such a grand occasion.
Let's call a spade a spade. Donald Trump is a reality TV president. He craves attention. He demands attention. He lives for the spotlight. And the truth is, it's a sad commentary on the state of American politics driven by Donald Trump. But all anybody is talking about, including us today, is the fact that Nancy Pelosi ripped up the speech. And I will quote her, he shredded the truth, so she shredded the speech. The fact is, the State of the Union is supposed to be a reflection on what has been accomplished, not a campaign-style rally where he bestows America's top honor on a bombastic, misogynistic shock jock, where he tells lie after lie after lie. He shouldn't expect us to sort of sit quietly by and applaud. Nancy Pelosi, I think, reflected the incredible anger, frustration, and concern of the majority of Americans under this president who simply cannot tell the truth. And probably the most egregious, and I think what probably put her over the edge, is his claim that he is fighting so hard to protect people with pre-existing conditions when he and his administration have fought over and over and over again to shred the Affordable Care Act, which would leave people with pre-existing conditions without any health care at all.
But Bernard, isn't the best way to tear up, get rid of Trump's policies, if that's what you want to do, is to pick a candidate, make the arguments, and put those arguments to the voters in November?
That's exactly what we're doing. But I mean, the fact is, Donald Trump claims that drug prices are going down. They've actually gone up. Donald Trump claims we have great economic growth. In fact, economic growth has been anemic at 2.3%, not the 4% he promised. Donald Trump claims that manufacturing jobs are on the rise. They're on the decline. Donald Trump claims we have a great economy when income inequality has never been greater. And we are going to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. My hope is that it's Pete Buttigieg, and if not Pete, Mike Bloomberg. But ultimately, I think that Nancy Pelosi showed the frustration of the American people when she just, said, he shredded the truth. I'm ripping up his speech.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, come back in on that. I mean, he's shredded the truth, say the Democrats.
Yeah, it's so perfect. I enjoyed listening because that's all the left does. They never have a solution. They never have any accomplishment. They are skilled at attacking. So you notice, you said, when the second in line to the presidents, there you have all three of them there, first, second in line to the presidency, acts like a petulant little girl. How does that make the nation look? And what's his response? He immediately begins spitting venom towards Donald Trump. Their way to power is to destroy their opponents. The way to power for Donald Trump and the others is to do exactly what's happening, and that is to see the stock market, which is the combined growth, over $1 trillion in just one tax change alone, by lowering the tax abroad, is floated back into America. For the first time in 17 years, we're creating manufacturing jobs instead of losing manufacturing jobs. So we're pleased to talk about what's happening. All that the left can do ever. I don't care for city council or for governor or for president. All they can do is spit venom at their opponents. And
but Bernard, isn't the problem that you've had the impeachment trial, or pretty much had that, hasn't really laid a finger on Trump? Then this farce in Iowa. I mean, Donald Trump must be pretty delighted with the way things are going, frankly. His approval ratings are up, I think.
I mean, if he's so delighted, he has a pretty low expectation of America. I mean, he has debased the office. He has used the office for personal gain, for political gain. He has corrupted the administration. He's corrupted the presidency. And for him to be so self-satisfied, I mean, the idea, Donald Trump has lowered the discourse and disgraced the office time and time and time again by attacking groups, by attacking minorities, by attacking women, by attacking immigrants. I mean, it's outrageous. And he is a serial liar. Look at catch and release. He claims that immigrants are running all over the country. The fact is, Bob, you should know this, more than 90% of immigrants who are detained ultimately show up for their court
Right, that will Bernard.
Simply,
Bernard was in full flow there.
He talks about how they're black law.
well,
His policies are a total failure. It's a disgrace.
What is happening is that the black vote support among African Americans is 3 times higher than it's been for any Republican in my lifetime. The same thing is happening with Hispanics. So they are going into panic mode where they just have to stand on a street corner and scream racism, racism, racism. And then when they wanted to impeach, now get this one, when they wanted to impeach, and it got right down to it, and there had to be a charge of a crime or a misdemeanor of some sort, they actually could not name a single thing. That he is being impeached. They impeached him on obstruction of Congress.
Well, they weren't. They weren't allowed to call witnesses. Well, they weren't allowed to call witnesses, and John Bolton, by all accounts, would have done him some damage. But let's just concentrate on the election.